Woke up this morning, stubbed my toe on hope. It was hiding by the dresser, guess I couldn't cope with seeing it first thing, all shiny and demanding, like a motivation poster that needs better understanding. My coffee tasted like ambition, slightly burnt and weak. My reflection whispered, better days don't even speak, till you've conquered that weird smell coming from the fridge door hinge, or figured out why socks vanish on a laundry binge. Oh, the legend of the better days, they're coming soon, they say, like a package you forgot you ordered, stuck somewhere halfway. They're riding unicorns, perhaps, or arriving on a breeze. But right now I'm just wrestling with today's awkward sneeze. So here's the plan, profound and grand, ridiculously clear. We'll tackle all that sunshine, one slightly frazzled day a year. No way, one day at a time, yeah, that's the slightly saner scheme. Just keep putting one foot forward, fueled by caffeine and a dream. I tried to make a vision board, it mostly looked like snacks and pictures of celebrities avoiding income tax. My grand plan for improvement gets derailed by shiny things, or the sudden urgent need to know who really sings.
Good morning, good morning. Look who's alive. At least I'm having a good hair day. Good morning, Magadampo. Sound check, sound check. What is going on? Is that the professor? What is going on? Fallen Center, good morning. I know I'm starting early. It's been almost a week since we've done a live stream. Somewhere between doctor appointments, sleeping, George sleeping, and just chilling for the most part. A lot of naps. That's what you get to do. So I'm going to wait for the room to build up before I go through a few things. But basically, today is going to cover where expats complain about the things that are going on here, the entitlement thing, and beings I'm feeling a little extra mean today, and been receiving so many nice emails and messages in regards to our last video where they called it a full e-begging situation, which I don't see where we asked for money in that video. We took you along mostly for a ride in our last video that was released, and showed you the inside of the office visit from like 2 weeks ago. And for the next few weeks, I'll be in and out of the cardiologist, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date on what's going on. So it was interesting. We got an email. I think we pinpointed one of these main emails down to a YouTuber because those are usually the most hateful here. Probably just jealousy in general, but I guess it's because they see it as in I'm sick officially. So the biggest person that's being mentioned right now is Mark Thornton, but I'm not Mark Thornton taking little blue pills and hormones or steroids to get a young wife pregnant because she asked for a baby when they weren't supposed to have a baby. I didn't come here already with, what do you have, a quadruple bypass before he even arrived here. If I'd have had that type of surgery, we would have never left the U.S. And my issues of congestive heart failure is more than likely we'll get the results will be hereditary. And it's something that I wouldn't wish on anybody and something we didn't expect. But even my lupus could have caused some of this. So it's hard saying what, but never once when we covered any of the expats. It was more of a conversation. It was more of a be careful when you come to the Philippines thing. We never went hard on these people and made fun of them, like as in, hey, he's broke, I hope he dies situation. Like literally, we're getting hate. Like, we hope you die. So, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like you deserve it because of after, and of course we got 5 or 6 of these fans that want us to list them, or other YouTube channels that want us to shout out loud who they are, with hate. But this is coming in from all sides, and it's to be expected. I mean, it's not going to rain on our parade either way. But it's it kind of opens your eyes up. But with everything going on in the world today, especially the United States, none of this surprises me because I thought I knew who people were. I'm gonna let you know right now, I hate people. I hate I don't nobody's off the hook. Not George, not family members, not my grandson. George was like, "What did your grandson do?" And I said, so it's just the way it is. That's why animals are the best. There's no judgment from them. They're grateful for everything. They're super sweet. They love on you no matter what. Well, George does that too. So, but anyways, so that's all I got to say about that one. And I'll think about reading this email. Hey, chosen one. Good morning. But I'm like what the heck? And so it's like, don't even. The first thing that was compared was me and Mark Thornton, and I'm like, yeah, no, not the same, and not even close. I didn't come here with depression and suicidal tendencies and talked about I almost off myself before I got here, and then you're on a blue pill, you're on, and I'm like, it's not even close. But you all want to make fun of me being big and fat. So I'm going to be ranting today about the people making comments, because the story I'm going to cover today is about a guy who got on a jeepney with a bunch of people, Filipinos, and then he complained about an overweight woman on there. And then everybody on there was making judgment all the way through. And I was like, that's the first thing y'all want to point out is, what's obvious. Oh, she's overweight, or, but anyways, I'm going to go through the comments and do an F you, F you, F you, you're cool, I'm out situation, because I just get so sick of these entitled expats and these entitled vloggers. Um, it's amazing that you guys will give $60, $100 to a half naked Filipina in a bikini, or you'll give it to another American expat vlogging channel to give to a Filipina channel that claims she lost her channel 3 times. I don't even get me going on that shit. And you'll give a bunch of money when she just showed herself at a salon, just showed herself buying a camera, and shows herself at all these hotels and flying and shit, and you'll contribute to that. But you want to say something to me and I haven't asked for a dime. And it's like, go fuck yourself. It just shows pure love and pure stupidity that you guys would even go on like that. And you all know who you are that are watching. It can't help yourselves. So it's just wild. I it's just wild is all I could say. You don't mind giving 50, $60 because the girl didn't get no money because an expat ripped her off. She was running that channel long before. And for those that are following along, I'm not even going to say her channel name, but she lost 3 alleged channels. In the last 2 times it was lost, one to an expat and recently to a boyfriend expat, same people. Both the channels were collecting money. Both the channels were running the same videos, asking for Bitcoins, PayPal, getting tons of money out of Filipinas for homeless expats. And then another dumbass vlogger opened a GoFundMe, or the girl did, to get paid because the boyfriend allegedly ripped her off, and now she's talking to him again. So all you that sent $600, $700, $800 to take care of her, you're just dumbasses. You're just fucking dumbasses. So I'm going to be on a full goddamn rant today. I mean, dumbasses, man. All right, here we go. Let me read these dumbasses. Must be nice to play a victim in paradise now. You are the queen of expat life, and now you've fallen hard. I watched your latest video where you're sick in the Philippines going to the heart doctor. It's funny how you spent all these years doing live streams acting like you've unlocked some sort of secret life that none of us can figure out. You and George don't know anything. But the moment you get sick with something, you turn on the camera and cry about it, which we did not. In the video, all I said was, got to get blood work, got to get this. We'll give updates, not going to hide that I could die tomorrow situation. So I'm telling you what's going on. Going to give you costs, going to tell you what's actually going on. You're like every every other entitled expat. You love the low cost, but you can't afford to live back home. Let's be real, you're not really sharing your journey. You're just fishing for sympathy and money. You sit in the air conditioning, you complain about the country. What fucking difference does it make to you whether I sit on my couch or my air conditioning? AKA, this is a specific vlogger that is mentioning that, because there's only a few of them that complain about us and mention the AC all the time. And some of the words give away the channel too. I'm sure this is not just a regular person. You think you're special because you're struggling abroad. Oh, here's the mention of your passport isn't even dry. Stay brave or stop filming. Some of us are tired of watching you pretend that you're struggling and your tragedy and you being sick. Don't bother to reply. Stay in your lane. Finding how you're vulnerable. Go make another video about that. And that was it. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of go and what? Okay, and if I do, or if people help, or what's it to you? I didn't know, I've been here 5.5 years, that my heart would give out. And this isn't that I'm having a heart attack because my veins are clogged with donuts and oil. No, my heart is just totally giving out, either due to an infection as a child, hereditary, or my lupus ate my heart up, or the medicine. This is not because of factors. Last check of my cholesterol and all of that was fine. I'm not clogged with grease. I have where my heart is giving out on me. And I don't have high blood pressure either. So go figure that. So it's totally different. But I do take responsibility that if I lose weight, I could breathe better or whatever. But you guys don't think that I'm not doing that already? Prepped meals. I mean, I'm currently losing weight. But it's just sad. It's really sad to feel that this channel, which is a small channel, is doing the content just for the hell of it. And that we just like digging at people. Like some claim they don't have their monetizations turned on, or they're not making any money. They're just covering for free. And it's like, we've been in the game for almost 6 years, since Florida, Mexico. And we do it because we like it. And it just brought me around to that. And the fact that I keep reading these expat forums and people sending us stories and stuff, and it seems to be the same thing, that why y'all picking on the one old lady in the Philippines? Because I'm bitchy? Because I'm like your aunt or somebody? I don't get it. I guess I should be grateful that you're so fascinated with me and spreading our names and all of that, but I'm going to talk about it. You're a dumbass. And this situation that I'm going to bring up here in a minute, the complaints that come out of the expats is unreal. And then the same ones are running YouTube channels and they're like, oh, peace to this, and it's the greatest country on earth and everything else. They lie about their budget videos. They lie about everything, and they're not really doing anybody a service. They're just trying to sell their videos. So amazing. So, but I'll get into that in a minute. Fallen center. Sorry, I said center. Professor is in the house. Hey, what's going on, amigo? And thank you so much, Victoria. We have a lot of people that have sent great. We've had 99% positivity on Get Well, checking on us, the support that we've received. A big shout out for Victoria, a big shout out to Sarah, and you guys rock. So, and George should be in tomorrow. Maybe. At the kitty. Meow. Good morning, Slick Rick. What is going on? Yeah, actually, I'm better than I was a week ago. I've gotten nothing but sleep this week. Breathing a little better because they increased the water pill again. So the x-rays did show that I've got a ton of water in my lungs. And so I'm on like really high amounts of water pills, two different types, and it's been a big difference. I was avoiding going in the hospital because something like that could cost thousands of US dollars and it could take me 2 weeks just to clear everything out. And I don't want to sit in the hospital for 2 weeks and do that. I hate hospitals. So, and financially, it would really strap us. So and then you don't know what the bill is and all that. And we don't have it like that. We've been here 5 years. We had some credit cards and we did not keep them because we closed out accounts and stuff. We closed out bank accounts and we officially live here. We ain't trying to live in both countries. So we're not going to throw shit on a credit card or, it's just one day at a time. But, doing much better. I'm actually concerned about George and vice versa. So he started a new med. His blood pressure has been up. So we're actually both sick. George's heart condition could cause a stroke. He'll probably have a heart attack that I'm talking about it, but his blood pressure's always been up at 170, 180 when I met him. But he drank a lot of energy drinks. He was working wild hours, lots of hours, and he's more on the side of having a stroke or a heart attack. Mine, I'll just stop breathing. It just boom, boom, my heart will go down. So we're both. It's wild. It just, or we'll just die of a broken heart. Chosen One is in the house. Good morning, Chosen One. He sure does. We were just talking about you the other day, saying we was glad to see you back. Hey, what's going on, McLovin? I did a video this morning, an AI video to give you guys an idea of what this to go with this scenario from the expat. Like I said, it's amazing. And Jello pudding, what is going on? Second wind is in the house. Brutally cold, I bet. This morning it was like 69, 70, but it's been like 67, 68, but the humidity was up there. And a little bit ago, the room got up to, even with the slight AC on, which keeps the moisture out of the house, it's like on auto adjustment. It was showing like 60 something percent in the house, which was still high. I was wondering why it was getting sticky. But hello from Toronto. Hey, good morning, Thomas New. Right? That's what I'm going to do. You think I'm bullshitting? Because I was just, because eventually I'm going back to the US. My family's gonna, I have places to go, family members and all that. The problem is until I get some sort of procedure and they figure everything out, I can't get on a plane. I only have enough energy to stand for like 5 minutes. That's how bad my heart is right now. So, until I get anything done, I'm kind of screwed. So I know there's something up and coming, and it's not going to be cheap, whatever it is. And at that point, I'll work with my family. If I got to run GoFundMe's and crowdfunding and all of that, there ain't going to be no shame in my game to breathe again. And I'm going to bring everybody along with me. So I was sitting there thinking, y'all don't mind, or not y'all, but I'm talking about like whoever watches this, trolls or not. It's like, y'all don't mind the dancing bikini girls with their husbands always. I called that shit out for the last couple of years. Their man is sitting right there and you're tossing 40, 50 bucks while they put on makeup. And I'm like, simp, sure, you don't have to give it to me because I call you a punk ass bitch. Who cares? If you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. But it's like, it's either going to happen or not. But you know who's not going to care? The people on the crowdfunding pages. They'll either hear my story so I can get home and get further treatment, because eventually everything is temporary. Whether it's a pacemaker, I think they call it an LVAD. I don't know what they call the machine where it's on the outside and they insert something. I still have to have heart replacement. My heart is totally messed up. It needs replaced. All of this is temporary. Water pills, several heart pills. Everything's temporary until I get a total replacement. And I doubt they do that. I'm overweight. I'm older, may not survive that type of surgery. So really, whatever's coming is enough to get me home. And I'll probably be in the US for a year or two after that. So I'm hoping to figure everything out by the end of the year. So I'm going to leave George behind. See ya, bitch. See ya. But yeah, I'm gonna put that bitch in a bikini. You're right. I ought to put him in there. I told him he's gonna go work on Walking Street. Good morning, Ted. Good morning. Oh, snap. There it is. I never gave money to CARE because I do not support homeless expats. I want to turn them in and collect my 2,000 pesos, right? They turn the expats in. I just think it's funny how she's lost her page 3 times this year. And she's opened up another one. And then she showed her man on a hidden camera fighting over percentages and all that. And I'm like, well, why would you do that to begin with? You were running your channel on your own before him. You got 500,000 people on Facebook. So you're getting paid for Facebook. You're getting paid for your page. He's getting paid for the page. You guys have a TikTok and you're getting paid and you are asking for money. So where's all that money going to? You said you were unlicensed. Is this expat license? What does he got a work permit for doing it? So all of this is in the open. And then that other channel opens up a GoFundMe. I questioned it. I said, why did you open a GoFundMe? He said, oh, because she deserves to get paid. And we don't know the story yet. It's like, I know the story. She said she lost 3 pages this year. And every time she buys something in front of the camera or she gets her hair done, and the last 3 homeless stories we checked on her, they're not real. Both girlfriends, neither of them were from Walking Street. She took that homeless expat, put him out in the country or the province, and he's been out there living with a Filipino family while she collects money. And the boyfriend, Mash, is every time he puts a post, he says, oh, this person needs this and that. You can send me money. You guys are idiots, because if you think that the amount of money coming in from Filipinos and expats are all going to these guys, they're not. And now he's not paying her. Now she said, forgive him. I'm like, this is just a, what do you call that? A carfuncle or a fuck shit pot, whatever. It's just ridiculous. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, wow. And once again, lost my faith in humanity again. It's just like, wow, you guys are watching this girl pay $100 in the Philippines to have her hair bleached, a $600 camera. The day she lost that channel a few weeks ago, she claimed she got a brand new camera and says, oh, but at least I got my DJI today. And I'm like, wow, you guys nobody checks anything out. Blind faith. You just drop money to her. Filipinos, everything. Oh, you're an angel this, an angel that. And I'm like, she went from helping Empanada Tata in the beginning down to where she was doing what she thought was good to something really went wrong. And the fact that the videos are running double and it just doesn't, and then to find out the boyfriend's the one that controls all the money and now she's forgiving him and his life's too short, shit, whatever. It's shit. I can't believe that other channel will never be mentioned here again. The other one that's helping her with the GoFundMe, because I'm like, wow, the dude's not even in the Philippines. He runs every whatever. And the fact that he came back with, oh, she deserves money because she's a vlogger and got left behind. You didn't see the $100 hair coloring she just got recently and you're raising money for her? It's you or her GoFundMe. Who knows? But he won't get another mention. Not that I think he gives a shit. No, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't see that? Who would not see there's something suspicious? And then she covered that guy that she claimed was homeless that she gave a laptop to. He wasn't homeless. He had an apartment. He had a place to go live and he was still with this woman. She was just living out in the province. That's all it was. He was just on the street begging. So that wasn't homeless. And then the one before that, they were still together. They both went to a nail salon. So she doesn't care what the after thing is. And she's not. But I want to let you know that this is happening with expat channels where they're collecting for the homeless. There are other Filipinos and expats that go in and take her stuff, and they've been running their own channels based on the homeless expats. And there are a lot of Filipinos running these channels. They just busted that big channel that had a house full of homeless Filipinos and destitute people. He was running content right out of the house. Everybody that came in and the whole deal. So he was making like money on top of money, and they shut him down for not having a licensing. Kind of crazy. I love how people say expats can't live back home or they wouldn't come here. That is true also. in one of the other emails, someone's like, "Oh, you were broke and had nothing, and you were running from the law." And I'm like, "Dude, they did a full background. I had to get a NBI, FBI, all of that, and there is no warrants. There is no just sit down somewhere. They always go making a bunch of shit up, and it's just amazing." So if you say something, there's evidently got to be some skeletons and backgrounds in other closets, which I already told mine. I'm not going to keep repeating them. And it's like, not saying that there's not, but I'm not going to sit there and hide a bunch of shit either. And I told George, I said, if I die in my sleep tonight, I said, hell yeah, go on there like the rest of the people. Let them know what happened. Let me be a lesson, man. Budget crap. I'm spending $12 USD this month in expenses, Billy. Some part of my trip to Dublin coming up, right? Oh, 12,000. I was like, $12. Where? Yeah. Hey, Raymond. Good morning. See, Raymond is in the house. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy. I can breathe much better now. I don't like the water pills. George wanted me to take the other half, like split it up. And I'm like, dude, I was peeing 24/7. I said, I can't do that. I'd rather take them all in the morning and like drain the lizard, man. It's just like, instead of draining a lizard all day, it was kind of crazy. And then I get all cramped up and shit. My hands and legs are like this cramping up, but um, I'm just happy to breathe again. Getting old. Oh yeah, George, we used to both drink a lot of energy drinks back in the day. Well, probably at least two a day, and then we're finding out how really bad they are. But the amount of caffeine was unreal in the other ingredients. So, well, they've always had, if somebody's an overstayer, if you turn in their name, they claim they do. I've seen that since I've been in the country. So that's like at the gentleman's club, the girl saying it's to feed the kids, but they get upset when I put cans of SpaghettiOs on the stage, right? I mean, everybody's going to get their thing on, and I get it. And and you have to like people. Like these people like these other channels. They're hardcore. We have hardcore people too on our channel, and I get it. I get why some go through this, and that, and everybody decides, well, screw this, screw that, wouldn't do this, oh, they're this. And I understand. And I understand. I actually expect it. And it's all in God's hands, it's all in how it actually rolls. I'm going to make it one way or another, even if I let George do the surgery. I'm going to let George and the cats do the surgery. So, oh. Yeah, I'll bring that up here in a minute. Hey, Richie Rich, I have not had a chance. You came up in my feed and I seen where you were solo the other day, so I got to get caught up with your videos. Richie Rich is in the house, another good channel that we really appreciate. Hey, Heidi, way to break this all down. We didn't send her any money once I found out they were in a relationship. Well, and it's the whole thing, Richie. She go look at her Facebook page. She just got her hair done. She was at another fancy hotel, and I get it might have been free services to have her lips tinted and painted, but she just got her hair done last month. And anybody that's going through, and everybody deserves to primp themselves. I get it, but that hair coloring, even in the Philippines, costs are close to $100. I know what the salons cost here when you go to one that does that type of service. And she's been traveling, she's spending a lot of money, and she's not hurting. I could see if she was living in some crap hole and her family was going hungry and she had kids and she was just riding nothing but jeepneys, but she's not. She's spending a lot of money on Facebook, and she shows it where she's had videos done, and it doesn't make any sense. And they're double doing the videos. They're double making money, his channel and hers. And What happened prior to him? He was not always around. And by the way, sadly, a lot of these channels do have expats that own them. And they tend to run the taxes and shit outside to their country, but she's still working for him. He's still recording in the country, and so is she. Somebody's avoiding taxes all the way around in licensing. Just the whole thing is really disturbing. And the fact that most of the money's coming from Filipinos to pay for this when she doesn't verify the stories. Like that last guy was an outright drug addict. Both of the women confirmed to us, and we have the audio. They said neither of them are from Walking Street. Both of them got ripped off from him. The cheating was from him, and he was in drug use. You could see he was high or drunk. And he's been living out there for about a year and a half, 2 years. So this is nothing new. It's content for her. They both asked for money on their channels. They both made money on it. And now, within 2 or 3 days, she already said, oh, leave Nash alone. Yeah, how do we even know that's real at this point? Good luck to her. And there's going to be a full-born every minute. And there's a lot of them out there that are expats and Filipinos that are just, they want to live in that moment or something, but you guys don't see all of her other content and other social media where she's spending a ton of money on herself. She doesn't need a DGI to do this. She doesn't need the things that she's buying that, I don't know, it's just insane. It's absolutely insane. But appreciate you being here. I told the YouTuber I don't support the whole situation of Carrie. I don't understand why he supported her. That threw me off. She only was doing it for, and so is the other channel. I've been watching that channel for a while, and some things he's done where he's raised money or asked for help for other channels. The other guy, in my official opinion at this point, is it's beyond, it's content. He covers everything now. He 1 minute it's a ton of Rafi Tulfos, and then he went to doing straight news. Now he's running multi-channels like he's flat broke. So he's running with the wind, living outside the country with no other income but YouTube, in my opinion. And he used to do a lot of great interviews all the time where he got a lot of good information, and then he just stopped. It turned into a lot of news, Rafi Tulfo, and a lot of things about the Philippines, and he hasn't been here for a while. And I don't know. I'm just off of it. But when he supported her and he asked for money, and then his response was, oh, she deserves money, I'm going to get the rest of the story. He just did another interview with her and had her on a live stream. And it was, so it's all a bunch of shit. And I ain't afraid to fucking say so either. George probably having a heart attack, but fuck them. Fuck that, fuck them, fuck you. I may only have 3 months to live, and fuck you again. So I told George that. I said, I've lived a good life. I said, I'm going to do me right now. All right, let me, love you guys. Hey, Bella. All right, so let me tell you what's going on here, guys. I'm going to talk about this story. This expat seems to be, we'll just call him Robert. So he gets on a minibus, which it shows it's a jeepney. And he gets on this jeepney that has about 13 passengers. And he claims he was the first on the bus, and he got the seat behind the driver. And more travelers got on. Well, what did you think? You know, you're an expat in the Philippines. You watch videos. Surely you watch the YouTubers. You know what it's like. And I don't recommend the jeepneys or these buses for people. The ones that are riding around in it, if that's all the money you've got, like I just seen one today when I read further on these expat forums, they're like, oh, I love being on these jeepneys. I'm so happy with them. And I'm like, oh, okay. You're broke. And I'm broke. We're just what they consider middle class here or in the United States. We're not rich. We don't have 3-4 different streams of income. And I still wouldn't consider that. Now, George was given a used car by his family a couple years ago, and we will take the grabs. If you can't afford $5 to go to the mall and back, and you feel you got to pay half that to just wait forever to ride on a jeepney, then that means you're really broke. And don't say you're trying to save money. I don't think you're trying to do that either. I'm not trying to get a throat full of smoke right now unless it's something else. I'm sure the hell not trying to get black smoke in my mouth. So this guy is going on about how he's packed in here like a sardine, and I couldn't feel my legs, and the AC couldn't keep up, which they don't have AC. I get they're trying to say it was like a bus, but you're not going to feel it. Like some of them will have fans, and some of them I've seen where they try to put like an AC like unit in there, but it's more just like it's just fast air coming out of the units. Um, then it says the driver um, opened up a door, dropped off a few people, and they're saying that inside of there, a woman got in there. A plus size woman got onto a very proportionate lady got onto there and slid next to him. And he said that the woman almost sat on him. So they go straight for the insults of, wow, she just sat right on top of me. Well, it might have felt like that because you was already in there like a sardine. And then he said she started blasting her phone and music at the same time with no consideration. And welcome to the Philippines. So he was just complaining about how people were stinking, how he was packed in there like sardines. And then this fat lady gets on. And it's always amazing. So I'll play you my little scenario video of this.
You eat too much?
Hey, watch out!
He pushed her.
Right. Right. That's going to be them in the end.
Every man talks a big game.
Right. So in the end, there were a lot of comments. There were quite a few comments, and some of them were extremely rude. And I want to go through and respond to some of these because I'm like, might as well, you know. This person, which was just a couple hours ago, says it always seems that the more they squeeze in, the more dangerous it gets, and the vehicle is not safe. It's overloaded, which it is. But you can't change the people in the culture. You know, you're never going to. I've been here 5.5 years. You're just going to have to go for it. You came here to live a specific life. You came here because it was cheap. You came here for the chicks. You bitches came for the bitches, and I came to live a cheap life, and because my husband's family's here. That's pretty much the two things. And the others come here to vlog, and the others come here because it's paradise and they don't want to deal with the bullshit back in their country. And that's another reason we came. It's like you're looking for a change, and then you try to come here and change the country. Not going to happen. Not gonna happen. I don't care. I bitched myself. Yeah, I used to bitch how the kids jumped on top of the car and how they were setting fires across the street and they were going to burn our car down. And this morning at 6 a.m., there were 3 adults standing in front of our house. 6 a.m. Full loud conversations. They're not even from our neighborhood. They're waiting to ask for money from that government official again. They come 4 or 5 at a time to ask this guy for money. And they don't, that is their way, not all Filipino ways, but you're not going to stop this stuff. You're not going to. But back to the overcrowded jeepneys, you're not going to stop any of that. I mean, I've heard everything about these jeepney rides and the complaints, the pickpocketing, cutting through, your backpacks, and the head lice, and getting sick from somebody on there, and how the Filipinos stink. And you don't think your ass doesn't stink either? You don't think their asses don't go home and talk about you as an expat? Oh, trust and believe me, they do. They talk all day long about your asses. You think you're like, I can't even begin to talk about superiority that these expats feel that they have over the Filipinos. Oh, your wallet. Oh, because you're lighter, because you're from a specific country, because you're better than the Filipino men and all of that. And you're not. Sit your ass down in the corner somewhere, because you're not. You're just a human being like they are. Stop treating them so much differently and like you're better than somebody else. Because somebody in here said that Filipinos aren't very smart. And I'm like, based on because she had her phone up, because she's overweight, because she's a different color skin, what brought you to the conclusion that Filipinos are stupid? I know you wouldn't say that to their faces. Yeah, someone said AC. Now that's luxury. Yeah, usually there's a fan, but I don't know where he got an AC in a jeepney, because the photo showed a jeepney. I'd rather spend 24 hours in a bus than 2 or 3 hours on some of those vans. Oh, and we're supposed to do a video on transport. Don't know when. And we got a bunch of them showing like the Kulums, or they call them, or the ones that got like 6 seats, or where it just got like a cart next to it and they put chairs in there and they ride by. That doesn't make them stupid because they ride a certain way or do certain activities. Filipinos are highly intelligent. And there's stupid people in all cultures. Believe me, I know that, but I keep hearing over and over, well, Filipinos are just stupid because they do this and stupid because they do that. It's like we do the same dumb shit in America too. Someone told this dumbass to rent a car. Yeah, if you don't like it, being you got money, then take your ass off the jeepney and stop complaining and rent a car. I agree, man. Somebody said the bitching on this forum is amazing. If you want all of the same things of where you came from, go back home. It's, and I got tired of hearing that in the beginning, but now that I've been here 5.5 years and I've been sick, it's brought a whole new reality to me. Just deal with it. See, when you think you've got 30 years left or 20 years, it's like, yeah, things will change and they need to change and all that. I just want to live for the day. I just want to enjoy my day. Just going through these. At least no one started to sing. Lucky they weren't singing. At least you weren't stabbed in the neck. Okay. What the hell? Usually, if there's something like that going on in the country, it's usually because there's a crime of passion, like cheating or something. They don't just randomly grab someone on the jeepney and do that. There's usually some sort of fight or something going on. I've been here 5.5 years. Nothing's missing, not even on the front porch. Packed in there like sardines. The country of patience. This guy said one time he was in Manila and was on a jeepney. It was so packed there was nowhere to put your hands at all. I looked down and some guy's hand was in my pockets, which I believe that. They're pretty relaxed here. So they said, I guess maybe was just trying, instead of resting his arms down because there was no room, he put them into the guy's pockets. And I said, man, what the F are you doing in my pockets? Lesson learned, pay attention. Oh my God. Then somebody said he needs to marry the fat girl. Why are you hating on the fat girl? Yeah, it's funny. The whole entire story, the biggest thing he was doing was complaining about the big girl. And I notice out of all the things that these trolls or other YouTubers could say about me, the same channels, which fuck you on listing them, they want me to list them, or a dozen of them. They always talk about my size. That's all they got. Or A, B, or C, they pick on George that he's too over, like, analyzing things, or that it's always picking on his intelligence or me being fat. And that's all you got? Well, thank you. We'll take that. Because you ain't got nothing else. Vast majority of Pinoys are inconsiderate. They are friendly but inconsiderate. They love their noise. I don't think it's inconsiderate. I used to think it was, and I would call it insensitive. I think that there is a passiveness, which is different than all the above. I think Filipinos have dealt with stuff for so long, and so many different cultures have tried to invade, and the colonizations and all of that. They're just passive. They just deal with everyday life. Notice how they buy food one day at a time, and they deal with one moment at a time. Um, Everything seems to me to be very primitive on some ways they handle things, or back like the 1800s or the 80s. I kind of go back and forth on different time frames. It's like the 80s and being at a state fair, in my opinion. But I wouldn't consider him as much inconsiderate. It seems that way. I used to call George an inconsiderate prick constantly. Like within 2, 3 months of being with him, I said, "Why are you so inconsiderate? Why don't you have any feelings? Why don't you speak up?" Like if somebody did something to him back in the US, he wouldn't say nothing. If they cut him off or something happened at the store and they cut in front of him, or he just wouldn't say nothing. And it's more of a passive, which is almost the same thing. He just lets it go. But believe me, when he's pissed off, he is extremely, you guys have seen it, he's extremely pissed off. Yeah, I'm not finding. There was several hundred comments. Someone said, "But did you die?" That's George's thing. They said he survived. Um, there's a photo here where a little girl was flipping off an expat, which was hilarious. But in general, that's what's going on with that story for sure. It was funny. Eh, I told that YouTuber. Okay, we already put that one up. For a small percentage, I will dress up in dirty clothes, and you and George can save me on camp. Yeah, that's an ideal. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's because you won't get off the couch because you're lazy." Well, you guys don't know my medical conditions. I've been sick for probably more than a year, and you don't know like different things. And we did our years and put in our years. We were the first one a couple years ago that went into straight live streams all the time. Now the other vloggers realize streaming is the easiest way, and it was the better way to get to the people we wanted to communicate with. We wanted to be live streamers, not always doing videos. And yeah, it'd be pretty easy if George went out and hunted people down, but it's like it's not our main source of income, and we're not being all desperate with our channel, either being narcissistic or trying to make money because we're super broke. So it's kind of crazy. It shows one how low does Bitcoin go before a newbie should buy in. Hmm. Yeah, her entire channel is that. And I think the biggest thing I found disgusting is they both ran the same videos. And you know what she did recently, which I found to be the lowest of the low? The same blogger this morning on Facebook posted, "You know, there's been a missing expat that's been on all over the expat forums. They found him." She posted the day before, reposted today that she found him. We found him, is what she said. And she goes, "Click here for the video." Clickbait bullshit. The video is not on her channel. It is not on her channel. So that'll tell you what a low piece of shit she is, to sit there and tell that we found him and here's the video, and it just leads you to her channel, the new channel. So it's just like, I hope karma gets her. She's I I'm a hustler at heart. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm a hustler. But I can't see hustling people like that and collecting the same money on the same people and then using the money to go get my hair colored in front of you guys. And I just don't get it. I don't. I don't. Hey, what's going on, Sarah? But yeah, the video led to nothing on her Facebook. We found him. No, you didn't. He was just found by his family. You didn't find him, and then you use a link to bring people to your channel. You skis. Skeet, 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 man. Good morning, Sarah. Bitcoin is for sale. It will go back up. Glad to see you up and at it, Heidi. You got to take care of yourself. Leave those energy. Yeah, that's been a long time ago. 7 years. I haven't had an energy drink in about 7 years. And yes, I don't drink alcohol. A long time ago, I smoked cigarettes, but it was like you shouldn't smoke at all. But at one point, I vaped for about 2 years. Then I smoked a pack of cigarettes, probably two or three packs, more of a social when I was at work. It wasn't like I was going through 2 packs a day, but I needed to quit, and I did. And so all the above, I told the doctor, I said, but I quit smoking and I don't drink anymore. Hey, that's good. That's good. Ah, but we got 2 out of 3 done, and the fast food and the salt, like I don't salt nothing. We've been prepping the meals together. Today we're going to prep. George will be home in about an hour, and we're going to make like a rigatoni pasta where you take like green fresh peas and you cook them down, and then you take half of it and you grind it up, and it's like making a tomato sauce, but you make it with green peas. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh cream to it and kind of make it a creamy pea sauce. And then we're going to put grilled chicken in there and some mushrooms. And it's made with a little bit of olive oil. So we will divide that pot up into about 6, 7 meals and then have it for dinner. And then we freeze it. And then instead of ordering fast food or if we're on the road, we just take it with us. So it's been really great. And we cook together. So I'll use the rest of my energy today for that. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, guys, hit the thumbs up on this and subscribe. So, you know what? Just for our haters, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, let's see if I do it this way. Mhm. Is that right? Mhm. There we go. I couldn't find a way to put funeral on there. Somebody's like, we're going to start saving for Heidi's funeral funds. I said, thanks, I'm just going to be cremated, but I'm a big girl. Said maybe it'll cost double. Did you guys ever see? I've got dry skin. The 1,000 Pound Sisters or something. Did you know that like 5, 6 years ago, before they were on TLC, they had YouTube channels, and they literally said the other sister died. They took her off and literally collected for funeral. Then they said they were going to cremate her. Then they said she was too big, and they collected more money. I was like, God damn. And then they got their own channel from TLC about them being that big. And from there, it's been about their weight loss, and it was hilarious. But the videos are resurfacing. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Oh, sorry, driving me crazy. Mm, yeah, that's really weird. And I probably should be careful when you go to bite skin off your lips, it rips it off. Good morning, Victoria. Thank you. You're such a blessing. Good morning. You know, the animals are gone. They're sleeping. You know what happened this morning is the kitten, the smallest one, used like there's a suitcase up in George's office where we have 2 bedrooms upstairs. One's more of a storage, one's his office, and it's closest to the window, so he lets the cat sit on it to see out the window. The kitten got out the window. There's a little opening. She got stuck on the balcony. I had to make George, before he left here, go up there and get her out. She'd been up there crying for like an hour, and then she's been freaked out ever since. So now she's just hiding. I just help the local people and the children. Yeah, me and George buy meals. When we see the only people we literally hand money to is like when we see Gusty and we give him money for his antibiotics or his inhaler. Small children, if George is standing there, he'll feed them. And we gave out all the candy that we had. We initially had a bunch of that Ted had given us. We had given those out. I got to do something with these candy canes. We got like 12 in a box, and I told you guys they are not peppermint. They're a Chinese company, and it doesn't taste like anything but sugar. There's no flavor or nothing. But need to give them out before they're just all sticky and you can't do anything with them. But we do. We just do it on the side. I keep telling George to grab one of these ice cream trucks in the afternoon and give him the money and have him give it to the kids. But mid-afternoon, nobody's outside. So there's no one to give the money or the ice cream to in the neighborhood. He'd have to take them up on the main highway to give it out. He goes, George is too busy doing his gaming. And he said, later, he says. Thank you. I'm rested. I know I dropped out talking to people, and when I wake up for an hour or two, you might see me like I posted. That video was me posting where I'm speaking Tagalog, and it was AI'd over and stuff. And I'll post on the occasion, or George will post something, or he responds. So it's kind of like 50-50. It's me or him that's putting stuff up. Yeah. A Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is in the house. What is going on? Heck, I've ridden in jeepneys and I'm not broke, but I just hit my head every time. Yeah, it's more of a comfort thing. But if guys feel like, you'll hear some that just talk about it's almost like they have to. Some people like to. Now, I've been honest. I have not been on a jeepney. I've said that before, never claimed I was. I know I talk about them. George has been on them. Like, when he got the licensing for the YouTube channel, like became the independent contractor and registered to pay the taxes for it, he took one because it was a long trip. Like he switched several times, but I told him, I said, you could just take a Grab, but sometimes when you take the Grab versus a cab, you can get to a certain area and there's no pickup for it or there's no destination for it. So he took a jeepney that day and it was like 3 connections. So he's done it over and over again. But I probably won't. One, my knees, 2, my size, and I just can't see. I'm too claustrophobic and too, what is the word? Heterosexual? No, I'm just kidding. I'm too I guess it's like germophobic. Let me see who's out there yelling. Probably for the neighbor. They sell fish and yeah, he's looking to deliver something next door. It's not for us. Yeah, they got family next door and she sells fish and some other things and they knock on the gates all the time. Hey, what's going on, Papa, in the Philippines? Hey, Heidi, maybe I should start a GoFundMe and talk about how I'm broke in the Philippines, right? My Filipino left me, how my life has gone to crap. Yeah, but then again, I have morals, right? I mean, I wouldn't start one unless we really needed to. And I know that if they put me on one more heart pill, it's a temporary fix. And I'll never make it back to the US to have a transplant or something more serious until I fix what's going on. But it will more than likely be beyond what we can handle for sure. We've never claimed to have the money, and we've spent most of our savings. And I will tell my story. I mean, like I will show everything. Like literally, we're starting to save bills now. Let's see, I got part of it here. Now, up and coming, like I mean, every bit of the journey, up and coming, like right there, it shows congestive heart failure, and it's. When they come Tuesday, the mobile unit will come to the house. It's another $20 for him to show up, but I figured it was worth it. I don't have to have George take an entire day off from the stuff that he goes out and does with the family and his uncle to have him come. But it still puts it at almost 9,000 pesos, which for all the blood work I'm getting done, they're going to do the ECG here. We already did the other 2 tests last week. So it'll be my 3rd visit with them and then the following week. But like everything, I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, need to get back home. Like I seen a guy do a live today that's in one of these foreign countries. He's asking for $500 as a whole live stream. He's like, I need $500 to get back home. There's nothing on why he needs it or whatever. It just has all of his cash apps and all that. And I need $500. And I'm like, wow, there's no direction, there's no reason. My goal is to breathe again and to get my ass back to the US for a treatment for a couple of years. And then I'll get back here and be with George. And it's I know my family won't be happy about it, so because it's, but it's not like we're the Rockefellers and I'm shaming the royal family or something. It's, you'll do what you have to do, but I'm not going to do it because I need a new pair of shoes like certain vloggers, or because I need a new bikini, or so I can go on to Boracay, or so I can put a down payment on a house. And it's just crazy. This is so Heidi can breathe, that's what it's going to be about. So it's not going to be, and I'm going to show everything. Soon as I know, and he says, hey, 2 valves need replaced. My mother had 2 valves replaced, and it was it could be hereditary. Then I'm going to say, hey, the cost is $32,000. Let the auction start. Here's George in a bikini. Can I get $5? Can I get $5? Can I get 5? Ain't gonna be no shame in my game. Nope, no ma'am. Nope. But I hear you. And I don't care what the other channels say. Thank you for sending me your real concerning email, and probably only going to give you content. It's like, so? And shit, George might be first. George might have a stroke and I may have to get a hospital bed and stick him on the back porch and stuff and hose him down. Who knows? My first full year in the Philippines, I rode a jeepney. No courage to ride motorbikes. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Yeah, I mean, they didn't always have Grab and stuff. They had the cabs and everything, but it is a form of transport. George used it all the time. I just couldn't see it. And if you're that broke and complaining about it, then get a Grab and everything, or get a cab, or even a trike. I've been on the trikes, believe it or not, and they're low to the ground. And I've definitely been in those, but I don't recommend those either. But yeah, I mean, you'll have to try different forms of transport, but getting around the Philippines is not exactly the easiest either. And that's why we stay in the city near the hospitals, and so it's easy to get around to things. You eat too much, right? Maybe I do. I told George he'd be considered a rich man, but honestly, I don't. I eat the wrong foods. And that photo back there was just a few years ago. And you guys have seen photos of me in Mexico. I mean, I was somewhat overweight, and just a few years ago, I was at weight. And I still have the gastric bypass. I can still only eat limited food. That's why making these meals are better. I've just chosen the wrong things. So, and I'm holding quite a bit of water weight right now. So, but eating too much, no. George eats more than me. So, for probably about 2 years, besides the donuts and ordering the pizza and stuff that we do on the occasion, we don't keep the chips around. We don't keep tons of cookies. We don't go through that whole cycle of junk food. Or I would never be out of bed. But who, like George says, who doesn't like to actually eat? Always respect the culture to what the country you're living in or visiting, most definitely. We are all here for the women. Don't let anybody fool you, right? I'm here for the women. I can't ride in the jeepney unless it's a front seat. I'll probably never. I've talked about over the years renting the entire thing out, like that, like Sonny did from that cooking show. And he just rents the whole thing out and drives around in it. I can see doing that, but I can't see paying that kind of money and just not really doing anything. If you can buy what you want from back home, enjoy. If you can, live like back home, enjoy. I'm always going to be a Floridian by heart. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? The ugly tourist is in the house. How's the baby doing? Some of the bigger channels are just getting desperate. Yes, their content is just getting more and more desperate. And I think real numbers and real views are falling in line. And some of them are doing, like the channel we were discussing earlier that was covering Carrie. He did like 4 videos in one day. Like he did, I think, a Rafi, he did the news, and then he covered 2 other things. And I'm like, I remember back in the day, like me and George during the pandemic, we did a live almost every day, and we did a video several times a week. And both of us were editing and always looking for content, always reading the news. And there for a little bit, it was stressful. And I can't see he's getting any help. He looks like he's not sleeping. He looks like he's not sleeping. And I can't, about a year and a half ago, I told you guys that George is going to show up when he's going to show up. I'm going to show up. We went from doing a lot of content after a ton of vloggers came in, and we just started slowing down because the content got watered down. So when there was so many that were known in the Philippines, it was different. Now there's a ton of them. We just take one day at a time on that. But no, they'll pick on whatever. But people should see the difference of when a channel is really, like George the other day was like, wow, they're just outright picking on people for no reason, whether it was rage baiting. It's called rage baiting. But I don't think some of the channels are really needing the money. I think they're just doing it because they're bored and they have nothing to do. And for like us, it's a balance. We just bought, how much was that? 3,000 pesos worth of cat food, which is about $60. And we're going through another $90 in cat litter. Like all of our YouTube money is going right back into the rescues that we have in the house, the ones that all live on the outside. And it's, and the rest of it's in apps. We spend about $90 to $100. So we're over. So we're not making anything minus just taking care of the cats. But we could think of a ton of drama to make a bunch more money, but it was always about me and George and interacting with the people. And especially now, I need something to be like, all right, Heidi, get up out of bed, put some water on your face, get it together, get out and talk with the people. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to answer people. And like for the Ugly Tourist, I've seen his videos. He goes around, he shows Angeles City and his family life and everything. And those are the type of channels that I can enjoy. The rest of them, not so much anymore. Just you could tell when they're listing people on chalkboards and saying, oh, here's the top 10 of this, or the other ones that are like, oh, here's this channel, they're just a piece of shit. And it's like, then you're just dragging the hate behind hate and then saying we're the haters. If I'm gonna hate you, I'm gonna say I fucking don't like you, man. I ain't gonna try to hide that shit, especially now. As the people are liable to get bitch slapped these days. And I don't care, Filipino or expats. Whoosh, pew. I don't think that my congestive heart failure knows no different. The lack of boundaries. There's some craziness that goes here. And I told George that, you hear people like, don't touch the Filipina, or how dare this and how dare that and all of this. And it's like, I'm a firm believer if a woman slaps you and she's pushing on you, like I seen that 90-day Colombian girl slap and throw stuff on her man. I'm like, you get what you get. If you putting yourself in that Ike and Tina Turner thing and you're striking each other, ding, ding, start a match and put a ring up around them. That's where I'm at. Don't play that victim thing, which, by the way, it goes on to, for those that didn't get the title or whatever, and it says dictum. Did anybody figure that out yet? Why I called it dictum? Because me and George laughed about it, because some people are dicks and act like a victim at the same time. And that's what some of these expats coming here, hell, I do. I can act like a dick all the time. I have to grow one just to sit there and get attitude or something. But it's because you're being both. And so it's like, I was supposed to save that title for George, but we're going to cover something tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know if he wants to do it Sunday, because there's going to be another power outage tomorrow. There was one about 8 last night, power outage, but it's going to be for 1 hour, 9 to 9:30, and something about 1 to 2 o'clock. I'm like, why don't you just get it all done at the same time or something? It didn't make any sense to me. Some things just don't make sense to you. Confused might be another thing they are here, but no, nothing you can do. So we'll either go at 10 o'clock or wait till Sunday. Maybe we'll wait till Sunday, and then we can just sit around drinking gin, eating fried chicken, pizza, chocolates, and beer, and playing board games tomorrow. Eating bonbons. My neighbors on one side one time was karaokeing at 1 a.m. and then I took out the bows and played speed metal. There, someone said that they said play the heavy metal on the bus and a few songs, and they stopped. Yeah. One day they karaokeed and I sung some Stevie Wonder songs, like some of the church like ones where he gets really into more of a soul, and it's a very high pitch and stuff. And sometimes it's not that I'm really good at it. I just like screaming stuff out, or Billie Eilish, something where she's just screaming and stuff. But and I open the doors up, and it's just because it gets old because you'll hear two or three at once. It's like, well, if nobody else cares, now's the time. So I just crank it up and open the front door, and yeah, if you can't beat them, join them. I have two vehicles. They are times that trikes, grab buses, or jeepneys are useful. Yeah, the jeepney, I'm just not. Honestly, I want to ride on a jeepney just to say I did, but I can't get on when they stop. And yeah, it takes, you'll see other foreigners come, or even other Asians that show up here that are used to a lot of walking, jumping, hiking, because they're usually small and fit and all of that. But most of us that are arriving here, okay, we lost connection if you guys can hear me again. Sorry. Most of us are in our 40s, and it's, or like me, I'll be 55 this year, that, and my size. A lot of expats are at least 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds overweight, or they just like George. George's knees are bad, George's shoulders are bad, and he's having a hard time. And it's hard to get on and off those jeepneys. And when they stop in different areas, it's just insane how you have to jump up. And then forget about, they'll just sit there for 30, 40 minutes until the bus fills up or the jeepney fills up. So you're sitting in the heat, smog and dust and dirt getting in there. And I just can't see sitting there that long. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of lung capacity, and patience of a saint to sit there and do that. So you go sit down, second wind. Send us some Bitcoin. I'll show you George and his mankini. Go sit somewhere. Peed on a chicken, huh? Hey, Captain Trucker. Thank you so much. What is going on? Wishing you a broader vlogging community in 2026 and health. Thank you so much. You also. Save them for Halloween. Thank you, Captain Trucker. Hello to Heidi. Hey, Robert, and all the PA fans. I know you have Part A of Social Security and will pay for 100% of inpatient hospital tests and operation, but you need Part B to cover the outpatient. Here's the thing. Do they pay 100%? Because I've been in, why is it like my hands are orange? Oh, it's the shadow because there's so much orange in the cat going on. I do not have the other part. Literally 2 months ago, I canceled. That's the bitch of it. Even if I get, see, I'm thinking with what's going on and reading what I've seen so far and the medicines that are helping me, I think that I need some sort of unit that'll help pump more blood so I can at least breathe, get back, and get valve replacement in the US. And it's hard saying, but I got rid of Part B because I haven't used it in like 6 years, and they've been taking 170 out the whole time. And I'm glad you mentioned that because it gives me a chance to say I couldn't get insurance before I left. I couldn't get insurance in the country. And somebody's like, they left us a message. It could be somebody in here now that said, go with Cigna. They'll do it for 400 and something. But how old are you? I did. As a matter of fact, they have flooded me with calls and messages ever since and emails trying to sell me the insurance. And congestive heart failure, lupus. I'm more than 30 pounds overweight. They're not going to insure me. They wouldn't insure me when I left and I was 30 pounds overweight, and not with the lupus. And I couldn't get any insurance, but I wasn't going to say, screw it. We've already shipped our stuff to the Philippines. We've already bought plane tickets. We already sold everything in the house. So, I'm a good planner, but, never claimed to, have it all together on this whole trip coming to the Philippines. Some people make no plans, grab a backpack and $500 and they head out here. We made plans, but me not having full insurance was not my consideration factor to not move here. It was the cost of America, the shit going on in America, and the whole ideal of let's go back. That's where we were going to go anyways, was to the Philippines, and could not get the insurance. And I guess you never think that the worst of the worst would happen, or that it would be. Like, okay, I'll just get on some medication, I'll be okay. And then the worst thing that could happen is happening. Me not being able to breathe because I'm full of fluid. I can't lay flat. I have to sit with several pillows up behind me. And if I sleep for a few hours, I have to sit up because I'm choking. And so it's like I'm drowning and someone has my head underwater all the time because my heart is not pumping correctly. And it's not it's clogged. It's not that it's just not functioning correctly. It's like a sick heart is what they say, probably because of all my evilness. Right, Bella? Phoebe, am I a bad cat owner? Am I evil? Nobody asked you, Mary. I know I kicked you twice this week. What's on your face, silly? Huh? Come here. Come here, Mary. Come here. You know I'm here? Hi. Can you make an appearance and say hi? Am I mean to you? Look who it is. Look, Mary. Look. Oh, hi. How come you always like you're in trouble? Huh? Because you're always up to no good? Are you always up to no good? Yeah. Maybe we ought to do a homeless dog in the Philippines and go put you in a park somewhere and say we found a nice little cute puppy. Maybe we should do, how they show them puppies that are sleeping with the iguanas and the rabbits? They give them Benadryl and put them to sleep to do that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should find you. Yeah. 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 Say hi. Okay, come up here. I can't hold you no more. Go over there. Go there. But yeah, I was not sure. I'm all over the place. And here's another thing. The Rotary Club, somebody told me, will pay for, like, if I need like a pacemaker. I know they do it for the Filipinos, but they do cover the pacemaker cost if you get with certain chapters here. I was recommended that if I needed that, to check with them. It does not pay. I just checked. I didn't think it did, Robert. Medicare Part A does not pay for 100% of anything dealing with heart surgeries. Part B covers 80% of the surgeon. I would have to reestablish that when I get back to America. Part B will cover only 80%. And if I try to get the Medigap, I don't know if I'll qualify for it. And if they go by households, my family members are working and all of that, and they have, substantial income. I don't know if I'd be able to do anything. So according to this, no, it does not A and B. So it would be dealing with the heart issues. The video made me laugh, Heidi, when he told the lady she eats too much. Oh, it wasn't directed at you. Oh, well, even if it is, I get it. So that's why I didn't go full hung co on that. Hung coco. So what's the other one for? Oh, the other one was for the medicine. Which, by the way, when they did the medicine, and it's not the first time I've seen it for the heart doctor, George said somebody in his family got 2 weeks supply. They only are giving 2 weeks supply at a time of medication here. Now, honestly, a lot of the medicine you can get if you walk in and you're already on them. They won't really push you for the scripts, but they're supposed to. I've just been refilling online and I get it delivered, but he gave me 14 pills and he wants me on 3 a day. So there is a lot of disconnect and they do things a lot different and it's part of the journey I want to let you guys know about. Because it is my heart surgeon and they didn't even listen to my heart the last time. It's like they're so concerned about getting me through these tests that it's like, okay, they know I'm sick. The last time I was in there, and you guys, only some people have had the update. Um, they could not, my pulse was like super weak and my blood pressure was really low. Like it was under 100. And so I went from having 150, 160 blood pressure all the way down to 120 and then it was under 100, 100 over 60 or something. It was like, so the lower it goes it just means that my blood's not pumping and they could hardly find a pulse. And I told George, I was like, rigor mortis is sitting in. And the girls started laughing and stuff, um, but they took all that through the vital like the nurses did, but the doctor himself really, he just sits at a desk and just stares at you. And I'm like, okay, well, I hope with all of the results and we're sitting down that something else will happen. I don't want to plan my own surgery. That's the way it felt. Like, okay, so should I set up my own surgery here, dude? So it's a great office. I just felt like they were asleep that day. You're near all the Koreans. Oh my God. Pizza and donut funds, right? That's what I need, pizza and donut funds. Let's just be real. If I don't use it for my medical, then we'll use it for pizza and donuts. I wish. Here's the thing. I've learned for the last 6 months that I've had these issues that I'm only kidding myself. Like, if I try to sneak a bag of chips, which who just quits smoking, drinking, no chips, no fast food, no pizza overnight. None of y'all. I call all of you out right now. And I've done it since December and I've been all of last year cutting back. I lost weight, I gained weight, lost, gained. And the situation goes now that if I eat that one bag of chips, literally I look like 9 months pregnant. I already look big, but my stomach bloats because the water will go to my lungs and my legs. And then I can barely breathe. Like it sounds raspy, pneumonia like, and I'm gasping for air just from doing that. And I'm already sick. So I'm only cheating myself at this point. And I told George, I said, I'd love to cheat. Me gaining a few pounds, I'm okay with that. But when you can't breathe on top of it, it sucks out the ass, man. Like the yingus, man. I appreciate the honest comment with no agenda behind it. Respect. Yeah, I appreciate it. 2 months. That's how long I can stay in the Philippines before I go crazy. There's a lot going on. I ain't gonna say that I ain't entitled. George calls me entitled all the time. I know the Filipinos look at me like I'm entitled. And especially with me being huge. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall. I'm a 3, 4X in size. Like my clothes are baggy on me on a 4. I'm a big girl. And it's like Andre the Giant standing there. And it's like, I know they look at me as George. I was going to come over and help at the family house. He goes, oh, no, you're not. He says the price will double on the yard work. They're still working on that. It's been all week long. And he says, no. He says, expats cause the prices to go way up. And I said, why do they think we have money? I wish I had the money they thought that we had. It's just not. I don't know how Filipinos are paying for stuff. Speaking of which, it's time to clean the AC, and that's going to be last time, like twice a year, we have to do a full cleaning, and it costs 40 or 50 US dollars. But I guess in America, you're expected to pay about 100, 150. So it is cheaper to have things done here. But I was hoping the prices would match Filipino wages. You can forget about that. Yeah, like for the blood doctor to come here is 1,000, 1,200 pesos. That's a good amount of money to make in the Philippines here. 1,200 pesos just arrive in a car to draw blood. yeah, it's a lot of money. And I'm like, and the same with the cost of the blood work, it doesn't match the wages. How can the Philippine government claim they want to be a premier tourist destination when they can't even keep the power on? Yeah, I would agree. Or they still have no trash situation in place. They're dumping trash all over Mabalacat again. And we're finding out they're going through our neighborhoods and they're dumping them in another neighborhood. Horrible. So, pretty sure our people in these subdivisions, like down the road here on MacArthur, are going into Cum Chili's and they're just dumping trash. They caught their photos of two, three skinny guys dumping in the night. They're dumping the trash. They collect money from us on a monthly basis and people in this neighborhood, and they're taking it one subdivision over and they're dumping it. And even though Filipinos only have so much income, they've got cameras. You can trust and believe in every house in this neighborhood, even the ones that don't look like they're fancy, they've got cameras outside. And they're catching them doing it. Nobody's doing anything. It's crazy. I try to, Cuckoo. Or I just say whatever's on my mind. Oh, look at Bella getting bigger. Look how big she is. Hey, Bella. Bella. That's what happened to the two 22-kilo bags of cat food. Bella. Hey, Raccoon. Come here. She's one of the older cats we've had. She's like 5 years old. Hi, BB. Here, smell my finger. No? Here, smell. I get George with that one every time. Here, smell like walking straight. Smell. Thank you. Here, guys. There you go. A little smell of the Philippines. Who'd you tell to contact what? Well, you have to tell me later, but yeah, I have your email. Yeah. Speaking of which, if I can't make up, or we'll have to. I think this time, if you're in town, then we'll have to go across the street. Me and George goes over there once or twice a month and does the board games and gets nachos, and he gets that steak or whatever, steak bistek or something. But we go over there and hang out, do some coffee or something. Last time we got that croissant, but I do that like once a month. It's about time to go out. I said, screw it, I'm going to eat out at least once a month. I'm not dead. And if I can't do that, then I'm dead. I have one. There's one right here. That's my skin all broke out. I can't show you, but I have one right here. I showed it on air before, so yes, I do. I was going to get the tank oxygen, but that can be a little costly here. So I got the oxygenator about 2 years ago for other reasons. And now it is extremely, because my oxygen drops about 86, 87. It should be above, anything below 95 shows that my body's struggling, and it does all the time. So, and it's because of my heart. So probably should be on it a lot more. I'm not happy with it. The forced air burns my chest, and there's other issues. It's probably because of the pneumonia and the kind of a hot mess. But I do have one that we did invest in, and it's got a humidifier on it. The doctor's happy with it, and I should be using it several times a day. But I don't have to wear it like some women and guys wear one. Like they walk around the house with it, to the bathroom with it on. I don't. I'm serious, but not that seriously sick. I can't, and I just can't. I can't see why. They probably would prefer, because when I check it throughout the day, it's always low. I could be burning brain cells right now. I'm old. I don't mind that. I signed up for Humana insurance instead of Part B, and Humana pays back 9. Okay, so you've got the supplement. Yeah, you've got it. So maybe with Part A and Part B, because of that, they'll pay 100%. But the last time, a long time ago, a couple years ago, before I got with George, I had something like that, and they paid part of my Medicare premium, and they did all that, but I still had to pay copays on my medicine, and the appointments were like $20, $25. I don't know if that got better, and that's probably about 10 years ago. So, yeah, because I've been together with George over 7 years and I haven't had it. So, probably about 10 years ago, but I always had copays, insurance, or, medicines. Each script I had to pay something on. Any specialists I had to pay something on. Only certain things were zero. Yes, belated birthday wishes. Most definitely. What heart surgeon doesn't listen to their patient's heart, right? Because they get a kickback instead of I. The tests are done inside of their office, and I think he mostly was just concerned about knowing the medicines I was on, who I'd been to. He was more concerned last time I had seen the lupus specialist, the rheumatologist, and I was a little concerned with that because he was like, you need to do something about the steroids and have them give you something that I'm like, I'm going to keep taking those. And I told him like that. I said, I'm here because of my heart, not because lupus. I get they're linked. I said, but I need to find out why I can't breathe. And he ordered the test, but I was surprised too because he didn't. He didn't. I just figured, yeah, he would have done all the above. But now, if I go to this next appointment, he's got all the results and he still doesn't try to check me out and he's just still going by the results, then something's not right. If you're just going to sit there all like this behind the desk and say, okay, well, your results say your valves are bad, we need to set up a surgery, then that means it just went from me paying you a couple hundred US dollars to let's get to the surgery. You're not even going to listen to my heart. It's like, hello. It's who knows. So it does at this point seemed a little off. Even George said it seemed to be a little off, but every country does it different. But it is strange for me. He did not, and there was no table. It was a desk. Literally, he was on one side like he was my teacher or something, and I'm like, and he talked to George, not me. So it was like I felt like I was in the Middle East again. I was like, you speaking for me? Go on. Go on. You tell him. So, wait a minute. I think my aircon cleaning is 900. They do it 4 or 5 months. Not well. See, we run ours because we don't leave it open. There's too much humidity. Too much humidity, it's bad for me. Too much air, it's bad for me. So in the mornings and late at night, the house gets left open, but the AC has ran for the last couple years. And so he said we needed it done about every 3, 4 months. We do it like 3 times a year, but one other time it's done a full cleaning. Like they take it apart and it goes outside and the whole unit comes down. And that's what costs. But we don't pay 900. We pay the last time it was 12 or 1300. When we started it a few years ago, I think it was at 1,000, but over the last few years, it's expected that it's gone up. So I think it's 13, 12, 1,200 was the last cost. Yes, Ted. Happy birthday. My livelihood in the Philippines is not real life. Close. You're close to Candy Towers. Sure, I live good, but I look outside and everyone is burning trash. Yeah, that's another thing. They just busted a factory over here by us in Mexico, which close enough. There's a Mexico, Pampanga, and it was run by some Chinese. They were in there making their own cigarettes and selling them to local places. And I don't know if they were faking a brand name, but like the tobacco was all over the ground and they're just making these cigarettes. And I'm like, ugh, I just could not imagine. But I was thinking of the cigarettes, but burning trash, yeah, it's constant. It's really, really bad. Several times a week, I tell George, I said, can you smell that? It smells like gas. It smells like trash being burnt, plastic. Somewhere between charcoal and I'm thinking people are cooking on their back porches, which make it into the house. And I could smell everything at once, but there's days he can't. He can't smell it, but I can smell it. But it's one of those trade-offs. Yes. I have loopy. Yeah. Lupus. Yes. Both. It's only $80 to Thailand. 80 US dollars to go to Thailand. That's it. Hey, good morning, Lucca. Good morning. Good morning. I sent you a number, but it did not come on the feed, so you will have to check for it. Well, yeah, there's some things that get held between there's like a list of words, and then YouTube. If it's too long of a statement, YouTube will hold it. We have to go and look at the comments. Every checkup, they check my heart, lungs, eyes, bowels, then a complete blood test. Yeah, like I said, we'll find out more. But if he does it to me on the next appointment and then just spouts he needs more tests, or I just need the surgery and that's all he's saying, I could see if it was strictly just a flat up diagnostic center and that's all they do is tests, and then he's reading me a test result. But it's an actual heart clinic. It's a heart specialist, and they're one of the better ones. So if they do it to me twice in a row, and I mean, they don't have to put me like in a gown or anything, but with full results, he's about ready to tell me what I already know. I just need to know what can be done and how soon, and get it all in writing so I can start begging, stealing, borrowing, selling George to get done whatever. So, but all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I wanted to say hi. So me and George will either do a live tomorrow at 10 a.m. because of power outages, or we'll do one Sunday. So I'll have to see when he's available, when he's awake. Right, Bella? Bella, you want to smell my finger again? Here. Fall for it every time. So does George. So it might be Sunday, being I just did one today, but we'll be back in a day or two. Appreciate everybody stopping in and rewatching. George has got another walkabout food video we should have. And we still got that one video where he talked to an expat a few weeks ago that we're supposed to release whenever he gets it edited. And the guy was telling us about all of his medical issues and stuff. And George says he contacted him again and asked him about the video, but he hasn't edited it. He says it's like a 2-3, like the guy spoke for a long time about all of his issues. And so we'll see about getting that. Hey, Laura, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Harry, what's going on? Thank you, guys. Take care. And I do appreciate everybody's help and everybody checking in on us. So, but all right, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye, Ted. Bye, everybody.